Guys, SUI is absolutely exploding all the way up through the $3.30 resistance and now pushing 360, almost at the target we spoke about just a couple of days ago. This might have even been yesterday. Guys, this was 1 day ago I posted this video about SUI, and look where it was. I think it was like 280 when I posted the video, and it's already pushing 360. Been absolutely crazy and literally not far off our target. Who knows? Maybe this thing is going to actually push into all-time highs. The way it's moving is bonkers, which we're going to talk about in the video because there's some unusual activity. So yeah, been phenomenal, absolutely amazing run on SUI. We bought when we had the buy signal from the SMC bot down here about 0.85. We rode it all the way up, and it went all the way up to $5. And then we had a sell signal from the SMC bot, and we sold our SUI and then started to short the market. Right, this is really nice because when you get these sell signals after a massive rally, it's often not a bad time to actually enter a short, and it's kind of easy to short because you sell your holdings here, right? So you've made 500% on your spot, you've turned your 10k into 50k, or maybe you've turned your 1k into 5k. And then I started to open shorts here and ended up making a lot of money. And, you don't really need to close your shorts until you get a buy, right? Until you get a buy signal from the SMC bot. So, if you opened a short at, let's say, $4.40 is roughly where the bot gave the short signal. If you opened a short here and then you closed it and took profits at $2.30. I mean, huge gains, guys. I mean, on leverage, you probably made more than you did buying the SUI dip right from 0.85. So really, really nice. I did short this and I took some profits on the way down. I thought there were some other better trades to take personally, but if you held your short all the way down, congratulations. I don't try to time the bottoms a lot of the time unless the S&P is bottoming. You guys know I bought Solana recently because the S&P hit a bottom, and I dabbled into some things here and there. But I was waiting for a lot of these buy signals on the SMC bot. After you go into these massive uptrends, after getting a buy signal, you're kind of waiting for that sell signal, right? You had your buy signal all the way down here. You're up 500%. You're not waiting to go up another 1,000%. You're waiting for the sell signal, right? You're waiting for the reversal. What goes up must come down, and the same things with the downside. Right, what comes down aggressively tends to go back up aggressively, as we're seeing right now with SUI. So we had the buy signal and it's really, really rallied. I have taken some profits off the table, guys. Full transparency, I've already taken some profits. So you can see my SUI trade here. It's actually a lot higher than this because I posted this when I was, I think, $20,000 in profit. So I was 20 grand up on that SUI trade. And I'd already taken 10,000. So now I've already taken 13,000, and it just keeps going higher. It's about $26,000 in profit now, which is crazy just for 2 days, right? And I will continue to take profits as we approach my top target. So when we get up to this target up here, I'll probably take a little bit more off the table. If we get up to this level up here, $4 is going to be quite a big level, but this is my sort of my target, short-term target. It was based on the breakout, right? It was based on the size of the ascending triangle. The technical target brought us here. And we had confluence with this previous support. We had this M pattern forming across the market when we started to short Bitcoin, when we started to short Solana. The same M pattern was forming, and as soon as we lost that M pattern, the whole market collapsed. So it's going to be a very, very big level, guys. And it was resistance here when we pushed up. Resistance here, right? It was resistance for some time here. So it's going to be a very, very big level to break. I would be surprised if we went from $1.70 straight up to $5, guys. Okay, so again, this is a very fast move, and what I'll say is a little bit suspicious because we got $3.6 billion worth of volume. That is a lot of volume, guys. That almost says to me that some big news is coming in the background, or something is coming for SUI. we know Ethereum's doing terrible. We know people are finally starting to realize that retail and the Web2 market are not going to use a chain that's slow, that's expensive. And clearly you've seen retail this cycle go to Solana. Where did everyone go this cycle? They went to Solana. Solana went from $8 to $300, and Ethereum pretty much went sideways, right? It became a stable coin. And there was a lot of smart money in Ethereum. And a lot of smart money, what they do is Bitcoin is the number one asset. They'll diversify into the number two asset. It's a normal procedure in investing. Okay, what's the top asset? What's after that? Okay, I'm going to diversify some into that. What's the third asset? What's the fourth asset, right? It's quite a normal procedure, and I don't think a lot of those people were actually in the market using the applications. It's the people who are actually using the applications and understand it's slow, it's expensive. I've got a community of people who are saying, can't you give some calls on Ethereum? Stop giving calls on can't you give calls on Solana? Stop giving me calls on Ethereum. And I can see from the ground that the people can't even use it, right? There's people coming into the space with $200, $300, and they don't want to go and spend $60 on a gas fee in a bull run. And the gas fees get higher each bull run. And, you know, they don't want to spend those monies on gas fees. And why would they, right? They can't go and spend 10% of their portfolio on a fee. And then that play doesn't work out and they lose the trade, or they try to sell it and they have to pay another gas fee. It's not going to work. And now if Vitalik is talking about, you know, changing the system completely, it's a mess, guys. It's a mess. I wouldn't touch it. I'd stay away from it. I stayed away from it this bull run. And Solana and SUI are on my list for the bear market. These are two that I'm going to be doing the research in, doing the deep dives in, working out, looking at the on-chain adoption, looking at the active users, and I'm definitely going to be building a nice layer one portfolio for the bear market, because I think a lot of money is going to come out of Ethereum and it's going to come into some of these chains, right? Solana, SUI. I mean, look at the market cap, 11.7 billion market cap, and look at the market cap of ETH, which we know no one's really using. It's still today 214 billion market cap. Okay, so SUI is a 20x under Ethereum. What do we know about the collapse of, if Ethereum collapses, what do we know about institutions and smart money? They're in Ethereum for a reason. They believe in smart contracts, right? They believe in dApps being produced and applications being produced on-chain gaming, on-chain DeFi, right? So I don't think that's going to go away. They've held on to Ethereum into these downtrends and uptrends, and it's the same price it was. It's the same price right now that it was in, 2021, right? It's the same price as it was in 2021. They're still holding. They believe in the idea of Ethereum. They believe in the application. They believe in Web3 adoption on chain. I don't think that's going to go away, and I think a lot of this money is going to flow into chains like Solana, SUI, and potentially other chains as well, which we will deep dive in the bear market. Maybe even Casper, right? If Casper can sort out their smart contract situation. So anyway, I'm going off track, guys. SUI, I love it. Am I going to hold it into a bear market? Absolutely not. I'm going to trade it. Do I think we are, not going into a bear market like a lot of people are saying? No, I still think we're going to go into a bear market. I wouldn't dare say this time's different. The most dangerous words you could probably say in investing is this time's different, and I can't believe how many people are starting to say that on socials right now. So yeah, I like SUI. We've already done a deep dive on it. If you're in the group, you've probably seen the report we've done on SUI. It's phenomenal. We've been trading it. We made huge gains on the way up. We made huge gains shorting, and now we're making huge gains again. Sometimes you just don't have to think, guys. I mean, look, you get a buy signal from the SMC bot. You take the buy signal. You get the sell. You take the sell. You get the buy. You take the buy, right? I said to a lot of people, I don't even like Ethereum, but if Ethereum gives me a buy signal, on the SMC bot, I will take a long position, right? I really don't like it. It's been that we started shorting up here. The last sell signal was around 3,500, and this is where we started to short the market. And, it's been a sell ever since. It came back to the SMC moving average short, came back to the average short, and then it didn't even get close, right? Could have shorted it all the way down. We did have this green indicator flash, which, you know, sometimes signals the bottom. You see here, green, bright green indicates uptrend, and we had this bright green candle flash, which kind of indicates that, guys, you might be a little bit oversold here. We might start to see a reversal. And then what happened shortly after, we actually saw a bounce. If we get over the SMC moving average, okay, and this will turn into a buy signal, we're going to flip into a buy. And it's very rare that we get that buy after a massive downtrend. It's very rare that we would get that buy and not see some upside, right? Not see some upside. I don't know how much upside Ethereum has. I do know a lot of people are waiting to get out of it and are waiting to DCA out and cut their losses or whatever, or even get out at break even. A lot of people, I imagine. But personally, I'll just trade it. I'm just trading a lot of stuff at the moment. I'm not going too crazy. So SUI's looking amazing. The TVL is going up rapidly, explosive growth here. It doesn't look super organic. It looks like a bunch of institutions are flooding into this right now. It doesn't look like organic retail. And notice how the candles are still green right now. You know how we went from blue, neutral into neutrals. So see the chart down here, neutral. And then the overbought condition green. Usually when you go into these greens, they go green. It's normally consistent upside after you go into these greens, right? So you go green, and then you start to hit some yellows, which potentially is the start of a downtrend. So it'll be interesting to see when we see our first yellow candle from the SMC bot. Did we get a yellow at the top? Yeah, we did. So you see here, green. We had lots of greens, and then we hit the yellow, which indicates that, here you go, more greens into yellow. So I'll be paying attention for any sort of yellow candles we get. But these greens, just from my experience using this bot so far, are usually followed by a lot more upside. Okay, so I don't know how high SUI can go. This is why I don't close out my trades. I don't have TP targets. I think TP targets is the worst strategy ever. You know, I saw some TP targets around 260. I mean, why wouldn't you just set a trailing stop loss? Why would you actually set a TP target? Just set your stop loss here. So if it does go down, your profit will, your trade will close out in profits, right? And then you have exposure to the upside. So it keeps going higher. Bang, I move my trailing stop loss up here. If it comes down, the trade will close. If it goes up, I still win. I win the more gains, right? And then I just keep moving my stop loss up. And then eventually it keeps going up, and then it comes down, hits my stop loss, bang. So instead of hitting my TP target down here, I've actually got exposure to these gains. And as you've seen, it's been absolutely crazy. I'm like 25,000 up in a couple of days. I might be 50,000 up in a couple more days, right? If SUI continues to go up, and I want to have exposure to that. I don't want to just TP when I can just set a trailing stop loss. It doesn't make any sense to me. So really liking SUI. Now, if you have been watching SUI, you've probably seen some of the projects on SUI have been going absolutely crazy. I think Deepbook really rallied. I think it's at like, it's at 255 million volume, 529 million market cap now. So it's been pumping, it's been going crazy. Would I buy this now? Absolutely not. I am looking for lower, smaller cap projects and tokens on SUI that are under the radar, that are flying under the radar, maybe under 10 million, under 5 million, because I think we're going to see a lot of this money from SUI. A lot of people have made a lot of money in a very short amount of time, just like me, for example. I've made 25k. A lot of the guys in my community have made a lot of money because I posted this on the 22nd of April. And it's now the 25th of April, right? So I posted this 3 days ago saying if SUI closes, if the SMC bot closes in 5 hours on a buy signal, I'm going to take a long position. And you can see here the price was 242, right? And we took long positions and made a lot of money. So far, right? We've really taken some profits off the table. So a lot of people have a lot of money, and I think a lot of that is going to flow down from some of these altcoins on SUI that have pumped a lot. I mean, this was what, 0.069. It's now it went up to 20 cents, guys. That is absolutely insane. So yeah, we're seeing some massive rallies. It's done like a 40x or a 50x in a very short amount of time. So I think a lot of this money is going to trickle down. So if you want to see the next video that I'm going to post, like and subscribe to stay up to date with the latest, because I found a gem that I think is going to do really well. If you're in my Telegram, you've probably already seen it, but yeah, I posted it in my Telegram actually today, so I'm going to do a video on that hopefully today. Maybe I'll even post it tonight. So like and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of these videos, guys. And I am going to keep looking around for gems on SUI. A lot of them have already run, but this one in particular I think can do very well. That's it for now. Until then, I will catch you guys in the next one.